Hey guys, welcome to session number 29 of the Trailer Music Composers Podcast. I have spoken. One man with one microphone who listens to Gregory Alan Isaacoff when having breakfast. Welcome to the Trailer Music Composers Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another session of the Trailer Music Composers Podcast. In today's session, I kind of want to give you guys like an inspirational pat on the back. This is again, obviously for me as well, the kick up the proverbial that you need to get doing what you're doing. And I'm going to approach this from a specific angle because I think it's really important for you to see this. I don't know about you, but I kind of grew up thinking that, or at least hearing from other people, that doing hobbies for money was a little bit self-involved. You know, you're that kind of like tortured artist who needs to communicate this with their music. And the thing I've grown to realise is that is completely false. I mean, obviously, if you focus too much on yourself, that's a bad thing. But focusing on communicating your emotions, your feelings, your experiences through creativity is a incredibly healthy thing to do. And doing that will ensure that you stay connected to something really important, and that's your truest self, you know, your higher soul, whatever it is you want to call it. But the really important thing of this, and this was a huge mindset shift to me, and that's why I'm sharing this with you today, because it's not selfish for you to pursue your passion for writing music. It's not selfish for you to spend your time practicing your art. You are actually a tool for the world. And I don't mean that in an offensive way, you know, you're not a bunch of tools. I mean, you are of service to the world. Now, I'm a big believer in the fact that we're all here for a reason. And if you undeniably believe that your reason is to create music, then that is your gift to the world. Now, the reason I'm sharing this is because, for me, like, thinking of my music in this way meant that rather than being like shy to share my stuff or like holding back, it's actually what it's done is it's meant that my output has grown exponentially, and it meant that I feel, actually, you know what, I would be doing a disservice to the world by not sharing my music and my creativity. And that's exactly the message I'm trying to communicate to you guys. You would be doing a disservice to the world if you didn't share your music, share your creativity. And the wonderful thing is, in this day and age, we have so many outlets, and on top of that we have so many easy ways to share our creativity. So when you sit down with your track and you do this track and you're like, I'm not sure it's very good, you know, when you let the inner critic take charge, tell him to bugger off, and focus on this. The work you are producing will be for somebody. It will help somebody. It will inspire somebody. It's kind of like paying it forward with acts of kindness, but our act of kindness is to create a piece of music. I mean, you think back to your life as it is now, and you think back and go, okay, well, how many times have I heard a piece of music that's absolutely filled me with joy, or helped me connect with the sadness that I'm trying to ignore, or inspired me to write my own piece of music? How many times has that happened? I mean, that's just music. I'm thinking, you know, if you apply this to photography, to art, to film, to books, to plays, to any kind of creative language, it's such a huge thing, and it suddenly takes a whole new angle of the work you're producing. You are actually giving gifts to the world with your music. And that's so beautiful. And the reason I want you to get this into your head is so that you start actively pursuing what you want. Whether what you want is to get your music on trailers, because remember, if you get it on trailers, think how many people you're going to pass that music on to. How many people watch a trailer? I mean, thousands, millions, a huge amount of people hearing music. If you want to get your music on streaming platforms, then do it. Because what you're doing, whether it's 2 people, whether it's 2 million people, you are going to be doing some service for other people. You are going to be passing on that beautiful gift. So a nice little message from me, and this is the nice thing, because I've been more active in being out there than I ever have been, i.e. through this podcast, my YouTube channel, through my courses, etc. I'm getting people approaching me, not like that, I'm getting them approaching me saying, hey Rich, thank you for this, it's really helped. And that is so beautiful for me. It's like, oh yes, my time was well spent. And that's the thing you've got to think about. I did that thing that every musician does. I did this, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, years ago now. I was like, hey, I've got all this music on my hard drive. I'm going to release this and the world is going to be set on fire with my talents. I released it and nothing, nada. So it just sat there. My music just sat there. And I didn't realise it was, obviously it'd been put onto all the then new distribution platforms like Spotify, etc. And then after a couple of years, I took them down. I took them down because I was like, I felt embarrassed. And all of a sudden, I had an email from this young lady saying, hey, I just wanted to say, I don't know where your music has gone, but your music inspired me to learn to play the ukulele, and from learning the ukulele, I've started releasing my own music. And that was so powerful. I was just like, there's me walking around thinking, why haven't I got millions of fans? And yet, what I had done is inspired somebody with my music. It was just, the album was just like, it was called Mr. Monocle's Quirky Delights. It was an album I produced really early on in my career with Vic at Boozy and Hawks. There's a music publisher in London, aiming at the advert market, the happy clappy whistling ukulele stuff, which I absolutely love doing, by the way. P.S. It's super fun. And I just thought, I'll just release it because nothing's happening with it. And it inspired this one person. And the same thing happened. I also had released some piano stuff of mine that I just took down. And then somebody emailed me saying, hey, where's this music? I've had this on my playlist for years and all of a sudden it's gone. And I just was completely unaware of the impact of the service that my music was doing. And that's where a little bit of faith has to be present in your life. Sometimes sometimes it's a long and lonely road being a professional composer. But you know what? Your music is out there doing something. And that's the amazing thing. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on a trailer, whether it's, on your friend's iPhone, it's doing something and it's helping people. So please take this to heart and do not stop or do not prevent the world from hearing your gifts. You might not see them as gifts right now, and they might not be the form that they will be in the end, but that's why you must persevere. You must absolutely persevere and keep producing the work you produce, keep producing the work you enjoy, and keep sharing it. And share it in every way possible that you can, because whether it gets 2 views or 200, I'll be honest with you, I have lots of monikers that I work under, and I don't really say anything about them because I'm just producing them because I want to produce that music, and it's not specifically trailer friendly, so I don't generally pitch it to Vic to put on trailers. I just do it because I like it and it's fun, and it's kind of like a cathartic exercise for me. You know, some of those things I've put out there, they have like 5 views, 5 listens, 10 streams, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter, because 5 people have listened, which is great, which is lovely. And the other thing is, obviously I can, of course, put time and energy into making sure more people hear it, which is what I am doing. And that is another thing. And this is selling your music is not selfish. If you approach it like this, you are actually finding your super fans. If you are actually see it like you are trying to find the music, the people who your music will help and will bring joy to, then it becomes like a mission. It's like, yeah, you know what, I might get some people like laying into me for using ads or whatever, but actually, me actively promoting my music is finding people who will enjoy it. Finding people who my music can be of service to. And that's what you must do too. Write the music, share it, and promote it. It's not selfish. It is an act of service to the world. And that message is something that's taken me a long time, to grasp and fully believe. But the more I do this, the more I think, actually, the music I write has to be shared. Think about the canonical composers or artists whose music wasn't shared. Or imagine if Mozart hadn't had his music shared with all of us. Imagine if he just sat on his harpsichord, just doodling, just like, you know what, I'm going to leave this one. I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm just going to chuck it under the stool. Think how much joy he would have taken from the world had he not shared that. And the same with you. You don't know what's going to happen to your music. You don't know what's going to happen to your career. But what we all know is we love writing, and we love the feeling we get of sharing our music with people. Especially, obviously, when it's a positive reaction. I can't think of anyone who likes it when someone says, "Oh, I don't like this, it's rubbish." That always stings a bit, doesn't it? But that's not the point. Ignore that, who cares? Focus on those people that you do make a connection with your music, because you are of service to the world and you are important. Whether you've got placements or not, whether you've got published or not, whether you've got a deal or not, whether you've got streams or not, doesn't matter. Do the thing you are meant to do, which is write music. Write music you love and enjoy, and then share it. It's such an important message. It has to be done. You have to do it. And I'm telling this to myself too. Richard, you have to do it. I mean, if I hadn't have started sharing the music, okay, admittedly it was sharing it with a publisher, but if I hadn't shared my music, I wouldn't be here recording this podcast, writing these courses, making these schools, getting these trailers. My music would not be helping all of those people. And also the other angle, coming at it from a trailer composer's angle. Think of it like, this. Some of you might think it was a bit arrogant, but actually it's not. If an editor's cutting a picture and he finds or she finds your music and enjoys it and cuts it to picture, and they land the job, then that's of service to them, as they are of service to you. You helped them, in their eyes, land the job. And that's what you'll tend to notice is editors tend to work with similar composers or the same composers, because it's like, hey, this guy's great and I seem to win jobs when I work with this guy or girl, of course. So sharing your music is vital. You are of service, and I'm going to keep saying it because it's really important. I think it's going to be one of my messages that I try and repeat to you guys. and to myself, do what you enjoy, do what you're curious about, and share your music to be of service to others. Okay? I never ever thought about it like this when I was listening to like Ben Folds 5 or whatever band it was at the time. I never thought that they were doing like a service to me in that way, but they were. They were raising my vibration, they were lifting my mood, they were helping me in my life, and that's a beautiful thing. You guys are one hugely talented bunch. I hear a lot of the music you guys produce, be it from seeing the trailers that you land, or from you sending me demos, or from listening to it on Spotify. You're a real talented bunch. Remember that. Just because you don't have a big audience at the moment, it doesn't matter. Keep working, keep sharing, keep promoting. It's of service to somebody. Right, guys. Yeah, that was awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good week. See ya.